Good evening. We are live. All right, see who's in the chat. We got John Turnbull, new logo, Luke. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, so one of my mates, he was like, you know what? I really like that Rab jacket, it's like a little lightweight fleece. He was like, I really like that. I was like, yeah, go on. I'll take it out. I'll do it for you. And then he created a logo for me. So I don't know if you guys have seen it in the thumbnail. It's I think it's really cool. So I'm gonna be using that from now on.
I've not even seen it myself, John. So
you ain't even seen it?
How observant I've been. I'll be sharing all the stuff on my Instagram today, but I've not looked. So I'll have a look after.
But wait, for me, you're actually frozen at the minute. Is anyone else noticing that?
Yeah, I am. I've noticed it now. 2 seconds.
Go on, mate.
The Wi-Fi down here. I might switch to this camera for a bit. I'll try and go back to the better camera in a minute. Is that better?
Yeah, we got you, mate.
Camera's not great.
AC Global's in. We've got Kimley. Hi, all Stone in London. Yeah, it was. It's absolutely chucking it down here.
It's freezing down the shed. Freezing down the shed.
Yeah, right. Let's get into it. So today, this, to be honest, your video sparked this, and to be honest, the rawness, like the transparency. If anyone who hasn't seen it, please go see James's last video, just speaking about pretty much reflecting on his business, where he's looking to go to, and if he doesn't make specific changes. I mean, you said it yourself. You was like, you could be back in a job. So it's kind of like do or die now for you, really.
Yeah, complete. Yeah, it was full transparency on the video. And yeah, thanks for the plug. Go and watch it after this live, though. Don't leave the live. But for me, speaking so openly and honestly about my business, like I've never really done that in such detail. I was saying to Luke before, I kind of feel like I was a bit of an ostrich. I'd bury my head in the sand thinking, it's going to be all right. It'll work itself out. Things will pick up. Sales will pick up. I'll find better items. And when you've done it for such a while, you just fill your store with so much stuff that just doesn't move. It just doesn't sell. And when I was having sales, it was $12.99 here, $5.99 here, $7.99 there. And then when I come to pack the orders, I'm kind of packing and being like, what's the point in this? So yeah, speaking to you, speaking to other people, I had a real reflection. This weekend, I have felt the least amount of stress I've ever felt in my eBay business. Like just myself personally, felt I was happier, more in control, which control is something I felt I had lost within the business. And the sourcing this weekend has been like incredible. It's been different levels. And just before here, I said to Luke, today I listed 18 items and the average sales price is £48, I think it was something like that. Which is just incredible because last week I listed 20 items and 16 were all $9.99. It's just such a huge difference, the changes I'm making. So yeah, I'm super confident I'll be able to turn it around. But I'm glad a lot of people took stuff from it, because I think sometimes it's good to kind of have an honest reflection of where your business is going. And with everything on the rise at the moment, like our mortgage has gone up, the electricity is about to go up again. At what point does your business start to go up, and do you start leaving behind that lower value stuff that's not worth listing?
Yeah, Dig Vintage saying, afternoon, everyone. It's a great video, James. Yeah, Jay was saying it's a great video as well. Very honest. It's refreshing to see someone actually come out, because to be honest, we can speak about all the good times, you know, all like the videos of you going around car boots, everything like that, buy this, buy that. And then we can give, say, tips and tricks and stuff like that. But it's not always, I said the saying wrong earlier. It was actually hilarious. What was it? Sunshine and what?
You said sunshine and it wasn't rainbows. It was sunshine.
Yeah,
was it roses or strawberries? Something weird.
Yeah, it was something like that. And but that's what I mean. It's like, it seems like I don't see too many videos just that are transparent as that, really. Because I mean, I was saying before this, I was like, it would be really hard for me to come out and say stuff like that. And yeah, in reality, it's just, I think Dig Vintage just put something down. In reality, all businesses have ups and downs. Absolutely. And I kind of want to speak a bit about me with that as well, because over the last, and we're going to reflect on last year, just kind of the positives, the negatives, and then what we're going to try and do to kind of progress ourselves and have an amazing 2024, hopefully anyway. But yeah, I honestly feel like, even like last year, I would say it's my second proper year in reselling, in eBay, everything like that. And to be honest, I still to this day still feel like I'm winging it. And I know for a fact it's going in the right directions. I know I'm buying right. I know I'm selling right. and I'm getting rid of the crap at the minute. Sell-through is very strong. ASP's getting higher and higher. But there's aspects like really tracking those numbers. So tracking those daily buys, tracking those daily sales. And there's something that you do as well. And you did it just before we came on. And I think a few other people I know do it as well, where when they're listing, they actually show the listing, or you calculate the listing amount and per item. It's basically tracking that ASP, just showing that you're going in the right direction. Because you said that, you know, you was listing say 4.99 to 9.99 items, and then overall times 20, it comes to whatever it comes to. But you had an average of £44 something for your listings. It was today?
Yeah, it's today's listings, and yeah, Simon's put that's what he does, and that's where I got it from originally, because Simon's really good at tracking numbers. But it, for me, like even typing that and working that out quickly, and it took literally 2 minutes for me to be able to like pop that in a WhatsApp conversation to you, like goes such a long way, because in my head straight away I'm buzzing about these items that I list in the store. Now, don't get me wrong, you can skew their numbers. So I could put something in the store that is only worth £10 and I could list it as £300. You can skew it, but you're only cheating yourself. So the numbers the price I put to the items is legit. And so I now know when it comes to tomorrow's, I'm creating a competition with myself to say I want to beat it. And that's not hand picking from a pile and saying this is good, this is good. I always want to say now that's the benchmark. It has to be that or above. And so in the end, and Jamie said this today, I think he listed X amount of items, and I think his average per item was like £120 per item, because he's listing some of his bangers. And I'm just like, that could become the norm if you get smarter at sourcing. And that's the exciting thing I'm going to have now, where I'm going to be, I keep using the term busy for, and that's what I class myself as, or have been for quite a while now, where I would sometimes come in at tech in the group does a call on a Tuesday night, midnight starts our time. Sometimes I'll come down at midnight to like 4 a.m, doing photos, doing listings, because I thought that's the only way I'm going to ever make this a real success. Starts to have impact on myself, starts to have impact on my own health, relationships, starts to have impact on there. And I said to Leanne this weekend, the joy of it is I'm going to be actually working on eBay less, sourcing more, making more content, which I really enjoy doing, and spending more time with you. So tell me how that's not like the greatest thing ever. And when it comes to content, I feel like, because this has been playing on my mind and I've been really struggling to try and make the business work, it meant the content, making videos for YouTube, which I enjoy, has been pushed aside a little bit, because I always use the excuse I haven't got time. The business needs work. YouTube needs to like be paused. I've got plenty of time now to do eBay successfully, hopefully, touch wood, and to also continue doing YouTube, which I enjoy. Like, what's not to love? But I would say to anyone, you need to be 100% honest and transparent with yourself. I had to have a long, hard look in the mirror, and to build up the confidence to, in the group, we do a UK call on a Tuesday, which I host. And that was another hard point, because I host, I feel like I should know what I'm doing, to kind of put my hands up and say, guys, I'm in the, I don't want to swear on your thing, I'm in the crap here, because I'm buried, and I feel like this is it. This is going to be the end of me. So, yeah, I would always say to anyone, speak to other people, just be straight with yourself. Where actually is your business? And you might be surprised. It might be in a better place than you think, or you might actually have to reflect and say, I can't do this for another year.
Yeah, and I think I was saying to you as well, even this podcast, to be honest, for me, it's a general chit chat. We was doing this long before we started putting this out, say live on like Instagram and on here. It's just a general chit chat. We're just having a chat about a subject. We're not teachers. We're not experts. We're just, I mean, my head's been down for a kind of like a solid 1.5 years, 2 years. I feel like I can now come on here and speak a little bit about certain subjects within reselling. So even for me, knowing that it's a chat and that it's just very casual, it's still kind of like pains and like hurts me a little bit for me to be even that slightest bit vulnerable. I don't know whether it's a pride thing. I don't know what it is. But for a video that you've done, I looked at that and I'm like, wow, because the support that you got, the DMs that you got, it was just incredible, because so many people relate to it. not many people can relate to something just constantly booming, 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 growing, growing, growing. Because in reality, it's probably not like that. So
Yeah.
the term you used, busy fool, my
Mm.
2023 was a busy fool / busy idiot. Sales were very good. Growth was insane. And there's some accomplishments that like I'm so glad that I hit like the VAT limit. I developed solid sources, took on a second unit, got invited by eBay to join the Pro Trader program, all of that, unbelievable. Got to go to the eBay Open to see great people like yourself and some people on the group. But the thing is, I think when I kind of went into clothing, I got my supplier so early that the knowledge thing, building up the knowledge, going out to car boots, going out to charity shops, and doing the like so-called graft, I think I just took the easy option.
Yeah.
So me stockpiling what I thought there was good brands, good sell-through items, stuff like that, is stuck in my store even to today, like kind of like nearly 2 years later. And now I'm having to go back, rework stuff, mark stuff down, mass sell stuff. And yeah, the term busy idiot, busy fool definitely sums up last year, because I felt like, just like you, like next to no time in terms of like hobbies, in terms of like date nights, in terms of pretty much everything. I just felt like every single weekend I had to be doing work as well, even like half days. And now I'm like, right, scale back. I've scaled back twice. So I was at 30, went to 20, then I was at 20, now I'm at 12. Happiest I've been by a country mile, because I'm only putting solid stuff in my store that I can actually be proud of. And I was saying to you before we went live, I was like, I can't wait for the day, and hopefully it's this some point this year, where I go through X amount, 1,500, 2,000 items, whatever it is, and I'm like, every item is decent. Every item is amazing, because I want to see what that's like, because I've never had that. So now I feel like my knowledge is at a point where I can attain £15 plus profit as an average items per day going into my store at 12 items a day. And then from that point, I can't wait to go back to car boots. I can't wait to go to charity shops, everything like that, to then build upon that. So the aim for me at the minute is to be at 12 and then to expand upon that, but staying at the same metrics. So yeah, that's really cool. But would you say that you had some good kind of like achievements, some accomplishments that you kind of hit in 2023?
Yeah, I think so. I think because my 90-day total, and we all know about the 90-day, like it is for me, the 90 days is a number that I look at to see how well I am doing. So all in all for the year, and like I said in the video, all in all for the year, I was up from the year before, but not up enough for where the bills were catching up. So like it was a successful year. Like that's what I was trying to say in the video. Don't get me wrong. I'm not coming on here saying it's been disastrous. It's just not enough of what I need to earn. But going back slightly, you said something to me, because it was weird, because after what people probably don't know and what I didn't mention in the video, I voice noted Luke after the podcast last week. And I was like, my head had gone. I was like, I'm all over the place here. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling this, feeling this, feeling this. And I think last week you said something, and I'm trying to remember what it was now. It made me click. I think you used the term proud. I want to be proud of what goes into my store. And I think that really hit home with me, where actually the stuff I was putting in the store, I wasn't proud of, because it's not the kind of things that I believe are going to sell through quick, and I want to be loading it. But going through last year's success, I was super happy with the way things went. It just wasn't enough of what I need to achieve for my lifestyle, in a way, for our mortgage of what we want to do. I feel that's the eBay side. I feel on the content side, the year was great at the start, and then I just completely fell off when it comes to content. And now I'm starting to realize why that was, because I've been so stressed with the business. I felt like I've got to put every effort into eBay and eBay only, and I kind of dropped that side. So yeah, I'm super excited now to actually get the business on track, to be able to actually do other stuff outside of just listing on eBay.
Yeah, I think it's like like I was saying, where I kind of want the metrics to be. Like I'm happy with that when that hits Nirvana and over. But the main thing for that, it wasn't just dropping because that's where my knowledge base is and that's what I feel like I can do. Just like you, I want to focus on other things as well. So just like yourself, I want to have a YouTube channel where I can put out, good kind of like valuable videos for people, you know, outside of obviously this podcast, because I like this because we can pick a subject and we can go extremely deep on it. But say like the hacks and the stuff like that, where 5-minute videos where maybe people's like attention spans are not kind of like suited for this, but they just want that quick hit, those tips, those YouTube shorts, things like that. I want to be able to deliver that in a good way for people. And then also knowledge as well. So expanding upon putting 12 items in, I want to be able to have the knowledge to put say 15, 20 as well. So just having that time, not just, I don't know. I just wanted, like you, to be less stressed as well. So yeah, I feel like getting that time back is going to be a positive in so many different areas. And the ability to not work on weekends, the ability to take a day off, my head is developing in a sense that like it's changing a lot in different aspects. So I'm enjoying that, mate.
And it is really weird because the whole weekend stuff, like we done some bits this Saturday, and Sunday I was still working, but more for like the YouTube side. But it didn't feel like you had to work, and that was the key difference to me this weekend. It wasn't like you have to come in Saturday because you need to do X, Y, and Z. It was a case of I'm excited to come in Saturday because I know the stuff I'm putting up is really good stuff, so that plays a big part. But we also spoke last week as well. You had a realization this year more so where I think your mentality changed, where you used to always be business 100% or business 99%, life 1%. And you were saying that you had a bit of a reflection moment yourself as well to actually say, like, it doesn't have to be that way, and I can still be super successful. In fact, more successful by not making it that way. So what for you was the light bulb moment? Because I know like you went out for a date night with the missus and you were like, I never organized that stuff. And it was great to actually be able to do that. So what was the light bulb moment for you?
I don't know, because I mean, I listened to a guy called Ali Abdal, who's probably like the biggest productivity expert on YouTube. So he's known for being productive. But he just brought out a book saying it's called Feel Good Productivity. But what he preaches as well is to feel good while you're being productive. And I think like I was being insanely productive, but I just wasn't enjoying the process as much. So I think I was just like get stuff in my head and I'm just like, right, I have to go 24/7. But I'm kind of ignoring other aspects. Like I'm still going out, still being sociable, still spending time with like the missus, family, everything like that. But I'm not going as deep as I can with that. So like stuff like date nights and things like that, we do them, but just not as much. And now I just feel like scaling back a little bit is just beneficial in all different areas. And I can actually spend time with, say, like play golf with my brother or take the missus out for a nice meal and stuff like that, and not be completely trapped, like working all the time, because that's definitely not what I want. Like I want to enjoy this along the way. I don't want to get 5-10 years down the line, because you have this thing in your head, like you're going to hit some sort of goal and then everything's then going to come. But I kind of want to I just want to enjoy it now. Like I just really want to enjoy the way going up there. So yeah. And I think that's kind of how probably you're going to feel as well.
I feel that already, and it's crazy because like nothing has changed in the business since Friday. Like, don't get me wrong, weekend sales were good, but that isn't down to the sudden change in mindset from really Friday onwards. So I'm going to really reap that reward probably in about 2 months' time. I'm going to really start seeing that. But the stress level, as I say, just by getting out there and actually realizing, and a term I used earlier on, I got to the point where I was out of control of the business. So I need the business to work for me. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just slogging my ass off in the business and it's not working. So, I'm super excited. You know, the truth of the matter is what I said in the video. If I do not make this work, like I have commitments, I have financial commitments. I will have to go and get another job. It's the last thing I ever want to do, which also has given me even more determination to make it work. So I think sometimes having that real reason to say, option A, go back to recruitment. Option B, make it work. It's got to be option B. And only I can control that. And by being smarter in the business, I can.
Yeah. No, I was just looking over numbers and that as well, because I know you put yours up in your YouTube video as well. How much percentage wise was you on top 2023 compared to the previous year as well?
Or I can dig out the numbers, talk about something else and I can find out. Are you talking about how much from 2023 was I above 2022?
It's just fascinating. I mean, like, even when people feel like they haven't kind of like progressed or they haven't done as well as they could have done, I always feel like when you look at that figure, the sales figure, and then you see underneath it, it'll have either a green or a red arrow, how much percentage you're either up or down. I just feel like that puts things massively into perspective as well, because we're not in business for one day. We're not even in business for 1 year, but it just because like day to day you can get a little bit disheartened with sales and stuff like that. But when you look at that figure, it's just, I mean, it just puts things into perspective. I think that's why I was just curious.
I'm getting the number now. As long as eBay doesn't say it needs to text me for the code. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So it was very similar. So I was again 24.1% up from 23 compared to what I was in 22.
Yeah.
So every year it's been like up over 20%. But what I want is to be up 100%, because it is achievable. And when I see other people talk about that kind of thing, they're not. I always see it as like, what are they doing that I'm not? I always reflect and say, are they putting in more hours than me? Most of the time, the answer is no. But are they working smarter than me? Are they taking time to learn brands? Are they not picking up the crap that doesn't sell through quick? Are they on top of sell-through rate? Are they on top of their numbers like Simon? And all them are yes. And I'm thinking, that's where I'm slipping behind. So where people share their numbers online, I know for a lot of people find it motivating. A lot of people find it discouraging. I find it motivating because I always want to then find out more. So if someone shares their numbers and I'm like, wow, that's amazing, I want to be finding out from them what they're doing that I'm not. Is it they're putting in the effort more than me? And most of the time, the answer to that is no. In fact, they say, I don't work anywhere near the amount of hours that you're putting into your business, which is the biggest alarm bell for me, because they're working smart and I'm not. So I always get encouraged when I see other people doing well, and I get encouraged by like your numbers. I get encouraged by Jamie's numbers, by loads of people, Hunley's numbers as well. Just like so many people I speak to on a day-to-day basis, and I'm like, you are making more money than you ever thought was possible. And there's me doing it the same amount of time, just tiddling along in the little paddling pool, struggling to pay for the cat food. Do you know what I mean? It's so, I find it super inspiring.
I think that's the place I go to as well. If I see anyone's 90 day and I'm like genuinely like, whoa, I'm just straight on their page. Like if they've got a YouTube channel, anything like that, I'm just trying to find out as much as possible with them. But I mean, we speak to people like Jamie, Sully's Vintage, and Josh, people like that. And I mean, it's just the knowledge aspect. For me, I feel like I've got a real gap in the knowledge from when I was going to my supplier. I mean, I know people like yourself say that, I've got extensive knowledge, I would say, in say like stuff like activewear. But the places where I really want to expand on that is like when you go into the charity shops and there's just like normal retail stuff in there. That's the stuff that I just feel like I have a massive gap in. So for me, for this year, there has to be daily kind of like knowledge. There has to be like basically like revision every single day. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be jumping into the eBay solds. I know when you're kind of like sniping online, you can call that knowledge as well, because you can like cross-reference stuff and all like that. But yeah, I just feel like that's something that 2024, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, whatever it is, it has to be done a lot more. Because come car boot season, especially, I wanted to touch on this a little bit as well, is the whole the tax issue with people that don't have I believe it's like a UTR number, and they're possibly getting taxed on anything over £1,000 in sales. I know that's been hot over this past like couple of days, but where people aren't going to be putting stuff online, there's going to be a heck of a lot of people clearing out stuff at car boots. So I want to be primed. I want to be ready in terms of knowledge, and just hitting multiple every single weekend, getting out there and getting it. So not just for sniping stuff online, but for going to charity shops, going to car boots. 2024 need to be hitting those metrics every single day.
Yeah, and we spoke about the whole brand product research. Probably when, to be fair, it's probably summertime when I first was making the switch into clothing. We were like, this needs to be a daily activity, no excuses, an hour a day commitment. but we didn't commit to it. And I look back now to ask why we didn't do so. And I think it does come down to that time aspect again. We were just putting so much time into the processing of the business, we didn't find the time to do so. And like I said to you this morning, my dream is, I love getting up early. I love doing the 5 o'clock stuff. My dream is by 9 o'clock in the morning to be able to shut the shed doors. eBay work's done for the day. All the parcels are shipped off on same day dispatch. Then I've got basically from 9 until 7 when the wife comes home to work on me. So that's going to be working on brand knowledge. That's going to be sourcing. That's going to be time for like getting in shape and gym and marathon training. All this time now that comes back to me just by being smarter, it just goes a long way. And now there's no excuse to put time into learning brands, learning nuances within brands, becoming an expert in the niche to know that when the car boots do open and people are walking past certain items, you're going straight to the ground, picking it up, and you're like, I don't even have to look this up. I know this sells in 90 days and it's going to make me £80. How much do you want for it? £5? Great, sold. Like, you are going to have the edge. But unless you do that, it's going to be the scramble getting the car boot. And then I think for me as well, more importantly, that's where I'll make mistakes. And that's where I'll start picking up the dry fit stuff for £2, listing it for £9.99 and falling back into the same trap. So for me, as well as you more so, I think this year, yes, I think improving that brand knowledge is absolutely critical.
I think it's because it's out of the routine. So say for instance, I'll get up at so like 5:30, go down to the unit, I'll come back with the orders, and then I'll go to my bookmarks. It's basically like a set procedure of what I'm going to be doing every single morning. So I'll go jump into the promotions, coupons, buyer groups, and then jump into customer services, and then check the feedback, launch the listing, send the offers, everything like that. But like stuff like newsletters, I mean, how long have we been saying like we need to fully smash out newsletters every single day? Because
I think every podcast we mention like, right, we're going to start doing newsletters, and neither of us have started really on a daily basis.
Yeah, because I feel like things like basically what I just mentioned, like putting a new coupon every single day, doing your buyer groups, everything like that. It's very mundane. It's very mechanical. It's the same thing every single time. Whereas newsletters, I feel like, right, I've got to be a bit creative. I've got to actually think about doing something here. And then what was the other one? What was the other one I was saying? So research. I've actually got to really pay attention to the soles. I've got to pay attention to the brands. I've got to pay attention to the sublines. I've got to pay attention to the materials. I've got to pay attention to like items. And I don't know, there's a lot more thinking required. Whereas I'm like, right, they're just like, it's just structured. So I feel like that's probably the reason for that. But once you overcome that, and once it's part of the daily routine, I just don't see you going back. And you know it's good for you as well. So it's probably like a lot of stuff. You know it's good for you. You know you should do it, but you just don't.
Yeah, I'm going to embrace Chat GPT a bit more and AI for newsletters now, because you can literally go in there and just type in, create me a newsletter for X, Y, and Z, for a clothing coupon, or create me a and just use that information. They'll give you what you need to use the title. And I think just take that headspace work away where you don't need to do it. Because at the end of the day, I believe if I receive an email and it says 50% off, or I'm not saying your coupons are that, but say I receive an email with 50% off, I don't even care what the rest of the email says. I just see that 50% off. And if you've done something like eBay 30% coupon today as a subject, that's all you need. I don't think people are going to go in to read the full newsletter. They just want to know how much money they're going to save. So I think I'm going to start using ChatGPT and AI a bit more to actually take that pain away, because I agree. The reason we probably don't do it consistently is because it's not as exciting as the other stuff. It's not as exciting as sourcing. It's not as exciting as even listing or posting items. It's the mundane tasks that you know you need to do to take the step forward, but it's always at the bottom of the pile. So maybe we need to just make sure that we try and make it as painless as possible when it comes to the newsletter. It doesn't have to be super creative. It just needs to be consistent.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when I look at stuff like repeat buyers, and when I look at the people where I created a coupon for repeat buyers and then also for followers, and then I religiously send that out every single day. I think it's maybe since April. And then like I put it on until say like October next year, and I'm sending that out every single day. And I'm like, say someone didn't use it for like 2 days or whatever, but looking at the end of it, looking at the time, that's what, say 10 months or something now. And I'm like, wow, like say it was at like $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. I'm like, that's just from me being consistent. It's just part of the routine, just putting it every single day. So yeah, just being consistent you'll be the winner, mate. But I'm just going to look at the chat just see if there's any questions that you guys have got or anything that you guys were saying. I think AC Global, but yeah, Simon's one. That's one thing as well. It needs to be all over the numbers. I need to be having that spreadsheet. I need to be tracking these numbers in terms of what I'm listing, what I'm selling, everything like that, making sure that I'm pretty much bang on. Because I have my own spreadsheet where I know what to pay for something and then I know what to sell it for in terms of getting my metrics. So getting my minimum £15 profit. But in terms of the listed, that's one thing I'm not tracking at the minute. And then also sales as well. But then we go to AC Global.
What we'll say on that, what Simon just put there, if Simon's got time, and we know how busy Simon is in his day-to-day life and eBay life. If Simon's got time to sit and track his numbers, we've got time, especially now, to sit and track the numbers. And it comes down to, similar to newsletters, similar to learning brands, it's not overly exciting, but in fact, we should look at it as it is exciting, because like what I shared today in the WhatsApp chat, that was exciting for me to look at, and for you to see. You're like, wow, that's a crazy amount. So we need to make it exciting. So yeah, I just want to say, if Simon's got time, we've definitely got time.
Yeah, I'd love to go over that again. But to be honest, I just rewatched his YouTube video because I really enjoyed it and I understood it. I just need to actually do it, mate. But yeah, AC Global, since I started looking more at the numbers, I'm so much more selective when sourcing, even if the item is it say £1? Yeah, £1.
Yeah.
I know I need to sell it at £20 to hit my metric. If it's too far away from that, it's left. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And that's why I kind of created that. So when I buy for 5, I know I need to sell for X amount. When I buy for 10, I know I need to sell for X amount. So yeah, I just need to go probably a lot deeper than that, I would say. So that's why I think that spreadsheet would be really, really helpful. And then we've got T-shirt Suntan. I think that's Alan. It's so difficult to take a day off as a reseller, especially when you love the job. If you have no plans for the week, and I find it impossible to take a day off. I mean, I would probably say that Saturday and Sunday I'm doing maybe a quarter day, half day. Just make sure I take the pictures, get the listings up, and then the rest of it is super chilled. So yeah, I'm not like hardcore every single day, but it's really hard to kind of like get off the app. I'm pretty much sourcing all day, every day. So yeah, there's aspects like that. What about you?
Yeah, it's the same. And I find as well, if I'm not doing eBay, I'm doing YouTube. So like on Saturday night, I was editing for the crime channel from about 9 at night to about 1 in the morning. And then I watched some of the boxing and I went to bed, got up at 8 o'clock, finished the edit. And so all in all, like the video took about 6 hours to edit, but that's because it's all new to me. But I'm passionate about it, so it doesn't feel like work. And that's what I was saying about this weekend. Coming down the shed, knowing I was going to be doing 10 items that were great, didn't feel like work. Where coming down the shed and sometimes listing 30 items where you're like, another $9.99, another $4.99. It's so demoralizing. So yeah, I think actually enjoying what you do is so important. And we do love it. We always message each other, me and Luke, and it's really weird because we sometimes just message each other randomly saying, can you believe this is what we do as a job? And it blows our mind. Like, this is what we do as a job. It's crazy. But I think, like you said there, I think from what I was doing, I was losing a lot of the passion from it. And that was showing in my personality as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It is mad what we do, to be honest. But yeah, we'll leave that for another time. Gentleman marketeer, he's pretty much a similar percentage to you then up.
Yeah, but he's smarter than me. That's the thing. Because he's 28% up year on year, but he's making good money, where I'm 20% up and I'm not making good money. So yeah, he's doing really well.
AC Global 2023 gross sales 37 good percentage, 37.1% up. ASP AC Andy's ASP is amazing as well. I see his post pretty much monthly. He always tags us in it, bless him. And yeah, his ASP is crazy. So he's doing really, really well. He's tracking everything to a T.
Yeah, and that second part is what I spoke about on my video. The fact that sales had gone up, but the ASP had dropped, and even though it was a 4.7%, like that really hurts. And so the fact that he's saying there his ASP is up 24.7% is crazy when you think about what that is. So yeah, shout out Andy, well done, mate.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't look at the percentage that ASP was. I'll have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, we've got Lucy in as well. This year is to not pick up the £1 is £5, going to focus on picking up better items. But before the car boot sales start, I want to get my backlog down by at least 50%. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there with some death piles that were. I mean, I would say that I don't necessarily have a death pile, but like I've said before, I've got so much stuff in the store that I need to clear out. But yeah,
I think Lucy has like a death warehouse. I think with it's not even a pile.
Yeah.
I've seen the backlog, but yeah, I think that's great. And I think not to pick up the £1 into 5. I think when you go to the car boot sale, the temptation to do that is always there. You're like, oh, do you know what? It's only £1 and I can sell it for £5. And you think, oh, I'm making a sale. But then when you work out all the numbers and work out the math behind it, is it worth your time? So, yeah, good plan.
Yeah, she's also saying as well, she's going to make sure she has 1 day off a week and at least 10 minutes walk with the dog every day. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about as well with the whole work-life balance as well, gaining some time back to, get out for walks, maybe go for like a run, do a workout, or work on like say a YouTube channel or something like that, just break up the day a little bit. So yeah, just gaining some of that time back.
Absolutely.
Alison, I need to get my bum in gear. I joined text group and not even been in a chat call yet. I need someone to keep me accountable. Yeah, I mean, there's so much knowledge. There's so many hours worth of content. I mean, watching the Tuesday tech calls, the morning calls, everything like that. You can still be completely occupied without actually being in the calls, but there's something about being in it live. I don't know about you, James. I mean, you spoke to him this morning.
Yeah, it was really good because I messaged Tech last week before I spoke to the UK guys about it and just said to him, like, my business is such a terrible position. I would love to be able to talk to you. And Tech is so open with his time. And yeah, I spent about 20 minutes of Tech's call today. And he was asking me really good questions. He was like, with spending more money, what does that mean? And he gets you thinking. It's like, well, what do you mean? What does it mean? Then you start thinking, oh yeah, the ASP has to be higher. The sell-through has to be better because you're spending more money and that's going to eat into your cash flow. And yeah, shout out Tech. He gives so much time. And you know what? Even if you're not part of the group, he's always said, if anyone ever messages him, he replies back to every single message. The guys are genius. But yeah, Alison, come and chat with us in the UK call and just tell us about your business. I mean, it really helped me this week. And I think by being open about it, it's going to change everything.
Yeah. James in. Less items, more profit over less profit, more items. Yeah, and that's one thing that I really want to concentrate on this year. Obviously, gaining back that time, but because I've been at 20 items pretty much 99.9% of 2023. I mean, I pretty much want to stay at that same sales amount level as when I was doing 20 items. So the makeup in terms of sale amount, I want that to be similar, if not a little bit more. So basically gaining half the time back. That's an absolute dream, to be honest.
Yeah.
RS, although it's hard to take sometimes, you need constructive advice, criticism from people to give you things to think about and reflect on in relation to your business. And I think you've realized that a lot over the last couple of days as well. But there's nothing better than people that have been in certain situations, people that have, not saying myself at all, a lot of experience in terms of certain situations, and they can just give a kind of a helping hand or just a little bit of advice.
Yeah, and I spoke to Luke just before this about this as well, and I said to him, I'm so grateful to be surrounded by people such as Luke and other people who have really actually took the time just to listen, because sometimes that's all it takes. It just takes someone to actually just give you some time just for you to tell them everything about your business, for them to actually say, have you thought of this? Why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? This is work for me. And kind of learning from people's mistakes as well. So, yeah, I think surrounding yourself with the people, but also I had to be open to criticism. And I knew when I was putting out the YouTube video, I've had loads of messages of support. I've had messages of people saying you need to go back to a full-time job. I've had messages of people saying you need to cross-list. Messages of people saying you need to not niche down. And I value everyone's opinion, and everyone's business works differently. But by being transparent, at least you guys know exactly where I am. And you can follow the journey. As I say, I'm going to put out videos with updates, and hopefully it inspires other people to either reflect on their business or motivates them to actually be like, yeah, this year's the year to smash it. So hopefully it done that.
I think you had one about wholesale as well, didn't you?
I had honestly so many messages and so many comments, and it was great because although a lot not a lot, but some of the opinions I didn't agree with, but I accepted it because, you know what? I put myself out there, transparency. You're going to get people's opinions, and if I didn't want people's opinions, I wouldn't have talked about it. So I obviously did at some point. But things such as, you know, why don't you just go back to recruitment? You've done it for 30 years. Why don't you go back to that? But there's a lot more to it than just going back to a typical 9 to 5. Like, I'm in such a better position mentally not doing recruitment. And I knew if I went back to it, soul destroying, which again pushes me to make this work. So yeah, but I appreciate all the comments on the video. I appreciate all the messages and the messages where people have said to me, I really needed to hear that. And thank you for being so honest, because I've needed to think about the same thing. Like, that motivates me, because if I can help anyone else because of my crap I'm in, great, because we can come through it together. And I've said to these people, circle back in a year's time and let me know where you are. So yeah, it's been good.
That's good, mate. Yeah, Alison said as well, it does you good to offload and people see it from a different way, so you can come up with good ideas. Yeah, and it's like, you probably, I mean, I've said it to you before, you can have something in your head as well. You can be kind of fixed on that and then just have someone else's perspective. You're like, yeah, you know what, that's probably a good idea to try that. So yeah, just voicing it. I mean, you've voiced it to many people. You had probably like over 100 comments on your YouTube video, God knows how many DMs. And yeah, you've probably had a lot of ideas. Whereas I kind of just stick to like a select few people. So maybe it's time for me to kind of be speaking out a little bit more and doing some videos like yourself. Because I think, yeah, you're probably going to get some good ideas in there as well. When we do these videos as well, we will come up with a subject and we'll speak about it at length. And I'll have a set of notes to the side, just stuff that I want to cover and I'd love to speak about. But you'll say something and I'll be like, that's just completely different to what I was thinking of. And then someone will put a comment and I'm like, I never thought about that. So just getting stuff out there and hearing different people's perspectives is amazing.
Yeah, because there's, for the eBay game, there's not, or reselling game, should I say, there's not a one shoe fits all. You know, just because I don't cross list doesn't mean that people who do cross lists are doing it wrong. It's not that at all. But I can't remember who it was. It might have been Andy or it might have been Cap and Apparel who actually, do you remember when they mentioned about, have you guys tried the dynamic rate? I think it was Andy.
Blew me away. And
I was like, no. And now I do that. I promote a 7% on dynamic. And I'm like, why have I never done that before? I used to always have it fixed. And sometimes now I get away with it. Sometimes I have a sale, it's promoted, I click into it and it's like 3.2%. So if it was you, Andy, I can't remember, it was you or Cap and Apparel. I remember it was one of you two. Thank you so much, because all that is great help. And hopefully we spoke about that. Other people might say, let me try that. So we're all here to learn from each other. And there is not a one shoe fits all. There's not a perfect way. The best way to do this business is the way that you feel is right.
Yeah, and Donna's just said something here. I just want to bring that up. Taking a temp job on from November to December was the best thing I could have done. Gave me a massive kick up the arse to get eBay sorted and start the group up again. Yes, I mean, going back into even just a temporary role, not even like a part-time role, just a temporary role, say like a month's worth, 2 months worth, actually gave her, you know, that kick up the arse that she needed to get everything in line and everything sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So let me just see. I think Lucy's got a comment as well. So when I'm up early with the dog, I've been either editing or working on thumbnails to improve my videos as another aim. Yeah. So it's just something slightly different to eBay, but something that she's obviously loves as well.
Passionate about, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go to the, I'm just going to leave the comments for a little bit, but yeah, some things that I wanted to speak about, just basically our overall plans for this year and just how we're going to be kind of like getting after it in a way. So, I mean, did you have any sort of like selling goals in terms of like your metrics, like the quantity you want to be kind of like selling per day? Because I know you're at 20 at the minute, and I'm not quite sure in terms of like sales at the moment or where you want to be.
Yeah, that 20's dropping, and in a weird way at the moment, I said to you like last week, I kind of ditched the listing goal completely for a week, to have a minimum listing goal, which is a minimum of 15, and then there's some days I've been putting up like 30, sometimes I've done 40, just to work through the stuff I've already got. But moving forward now, my ideal picture for this year, and it might not happen at the start of the year, but hopefully by the end of the year, I would love for 15 at 15. That's my dream. But it's funny because bit of a random one, but I was in the shower last night before bed, and I was like, I found myself like talking to myself, which is weird. And then I come out and Liam was like, "You're right. Who was you talking to?" And I was like, myself. And I said, "What is the reason I couldn't do 15 at 20?"
You said that to her.
And she was like, "What do you mean 15 at 20?" And I was like, "Hear me out." I said, "Why can't I list 15 items making a minimum of £20 profit each? Like no ifs and buts, no averages, a minimum of £20 each. Because some are going to make 100, some might make a little bit less. But if we can just sort of said 15 at 20, and that's the metric, why can't I do that?" And I said, "The only thing that's holding me back is my knowledge. That is it. The knowledge is holding me back." And she was like, looking at me like, "What the hell are you going on about?" But it's just crazy when I have all these different ideas now, where beforehand, my go-to was I need to go from 20 listings to 40 listings. It's the only way I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's like, do less, but make more. Do you know what? That's going to be my theme for this year. Do less, make more. And people might see it as, "What do you mean you only do that a day? Is that all you do? What do you mean your eBay store's finished at 9 o'clock? But I hope in a year's time I can come back and flash up the full numbers and do another review like I've done this year and say, guys, look at the difference."
Oh, mate, point me in the direction of the guy who's listing 5 a day and he's averaging £100 profit per item.
It's Jamie at the moment.
Yeah, it's an absolute dream. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but oh God, I love whacking out the calculator and doing that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like 15 times 20 times 365, take away 25 or 30% for like VAT and tax and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, that would be that. But what about if I put a little bit more time into knowledge and then I got, you know, the average up to say 25 or 30? Because the thing is, there's no real rule to this. Like you could do, you know, 10 at 30, or say like, I don't know, 20 at 5 or so. Like there's no rules. And that's what drives me crazy as well. Because I'm like, what way should I do it? And it's just, we come up with this like, you know, 10 to 15 at £15 profit. But to be honest, I feel comfortable in that I can get that every day. I think that's why I'm at that. But yeah, there's definitely no rules to it. And a lot of people don't list daily like us. They list, say like once they do the car boot run Saturday and Sunday, they'll just bulk list, they'll bulk prep it and they'll bulk list it and then they're done for the week. And there's nothing wrong with that either. There's just, you can tweak this so much. And that's what I love and drives me mad at the same time.
Yeah, what's exciting when you think about all this and all the plans, now I'm thinking about plans that actually get me excited. Because the plan to go from say 20 to 40 to make it happen does not excite me, because I think to myself, that is double the work, double the efforts for double the rewards potentially. And now I'm thinking like half the processing effort in a way, spend more time sourcing, more time brand knowledge, and make potentially double the money, 3 times the money, 4 times the money. And that just blows my mind, because I don't want to be a processing machine for the business anymore. I've tried it that way. I don't want that slog anymore. I'd rather have the slog to say, your slog is to learn and to source. Spend more time. I'll be happy to do eBay in 2 hours and spend 7 hours sourcing. I'm okay with that. And if that makes me more money, I'm absolutely fine to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got I think it's a reseller Nirvana spreadsheet. So it tells me what I need to list, how many I need in my store, how long the sell through is in order to get to X number. Just a very terrible way of explaining it, but I would look at it and I'd be like, right, I'm listing 20 a day, which I was at the back end of last year. And I'm like, right, I want to get to X amount a year. And then the calculator comes out and says, say 40, you need to list 40, 50. And you'll need 7,500 items in your store. So I'm like, right, I've got 2 units, maximum 7,500 items. I'm listing 40 per day. But that means I've got to have double the effort. And I felt like I didn't have enough time as it was. So yeah, I mean, it's very weird thinking about it like that compared to how I'm thinking about it now. And I feel a lot more stress-free. I feel in a lot better place. And it's almost like I'm looking forward to that time in order to put towards the knowledge. I know we need to make it more of a habit, but yeah, it's cool. But T-shirt suntan, he's popped a comment in. I list 5 per day of around £45 ASP, strong ASP. This keeps me under the VAT threshold, earning 40k a year and work 1 hour per day plus sourcing. 1 hour a day plus sourcing. Yeah, so that's
well, to list 5 items, it's achievable to do it in 1 hour. And then like what Alan's saying there, what he does, and similar to what I was saying earlier, what he does the rest of the day, his responsibility is to find 5 items that hit that ASP metric. So he will pass on so much stuff to find the 5, which makes sense, really, like in that sense, because you feel like he could go the other way. He could say, I need to find 30 items making, can't do the maths, 15 ASP or 10 ASP for the same rewards. But he now knows that he can, if he can find the items, and that's the thing, he's probably got the knowledge now to find them kind of items.
This is the thing. If you've got everything processed, say you got prepped and processed in terms of picturing, transferred over, listed, everything like that, and say you're doing 5, maybe like 5 to 10 a day, like you can get that done extremely fast. And then in terms of what Alan was saying, you know, you've got X amount of hours. Say you're finishing your day up at 5 o'clock and you've got it done by 8, 9 o'clock. You've got an insane amount of time to find these items. So whether you're doing car boots, whether you're doing charity shops, whether you're sourcing online, you've got a crazy amount of time in order to find those. So you can probably go extremely high with your ASP if you've got that amount of time. We say, I mean, because both of us are on the same similar sort of metrics, we say £15, but you know, we really want the 20s and 30s. Like, we really want to be bringing that average up as much as we possibly can. But yeah, if you're getting your day done in an hour or 2 hours, Jesus Christ, like you best be getting like 30, 40, £50 ASP items. And that's a beautiful life to be living.
And also it's the little things well, like we're talking about this as it's an average, because there's many a times, and even over this weekend, I'm not gonna share in here what I found, but I've gone about all day because I'm buzzing about it still. I found 2 items this weekend which both are gonna make me like triple figures comfortably, from like £5 and £2 or £3. It was just there's stuff out there that, because I've started to learn a few more things, I can find now. And so where I'm putting that stuff in the store, like that's where I get excited. Not listing the football shirt that I paid, you know, £10 for, and I'm going to list for £20. Them days for me are over. I'd rather not list it, and that's where I put it now. If it's not good enough to go in the store, one, I don't buy it, but second, I'm not going to buy it to list, because there's no point.
Yeah, but it's funny how lucky you get. Like, when I say lucky, you know, when you're going around, you'll go into the same place every single day or every single week, same car boot, and then you're sourcing online pretty much all day. It's funny how lucky you can get. Yeah. And really, it's just putting the graft in, to be honest.
You make your own luck in that sense, you know. Like I always say that when people say, "Oh, you got lucky to find that where you go," or "You got lucky at the car boot," like I always say, like they're the people who, for the car boot, are setting the alarm for 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning to get in that cold, wet field at times. They deserve the luck, and they're creating their own luck. So yeah, there is an element, because it depends what people put out there, but you have to find it and you have to create it as well.
Yeah, and they're the people that people look at and point at and go, that's the football shirt guy, or that's the Doc Martens guy, because you're there every single time and that's all you're buying. So if you're very niche down, you're going to get known pretty much within a matter of weeks or months. So
I was the Nerf gun guy at one point.
Yeah, you was. Let me just pull this one up. So XOXOW Heats. Work out what you need to cover the bills and what you want to do in a year, etc. Holidays, work backwards. I'm all about working less and enjoying life. And yeah, and I like doing that with certain figures as well. I'm like, right, if I want to get to this, breaking it down monthly, then breaking it down weekly, and then breaking it down what I need to do, or X amount of sales in a day in order to then hit this goal, taking into account tax, VAT, everything like that. So yeah, it's a good little exercise as well. And if you want days off, in terms of how many extra drafts you need, how many schedules you need in order to go on holiday or take a break around Christmas time or bank holidays, yeah, it's a really good way of doing it. Do you do that a lot as well? Do you work out kind of where you want to be and then work out kind of like backwards into the habits?
Yeah, I've done it for my goal for this year. If I want to hit a certain amount, I need to be making X amount a day on eBay. So yeah, I mean, I think I put it out there, like 100K is where I want to be. So I know what I need to be making every single day on eBay. And I think, honestly, January is going to be a struggle for it, but I think from February onwards, I'll be able to make up the difference. So yeah, but I've set the goal at 120k because I know things happen, and if I overstretch the goal slightly, I should still hit it. So yeah, my goal is that. So I kind of work back to say, okay, each day you need to be doing X amount. So how many sales do I need to make for X amount? And working out.
Yes, it's a very common goal that as well. I know a lot of people say 100k, and then
it just sounds nice, doesn't it? It just sounds like
it's a nice round number, isn't it?
I've never thought I'd ever be able to make 100k in sales, because that's obviously not what we take home. That's 100k sales. But even thinking, I've sold 100k's worth of stuff in my garage, like that blows my mind.
But when you because like I was saying, like I love going on the calculator. I love looking at different ways that you can get certain figures. And I was like, I always had it in my head 20-20. So 20 £20 profit items selling daily. And I think you looked it up last time. That gives you around 140, something like that, or just below. And then taking off tax, VAT, everything like that, comes to around 96, 97. And I'm like, right, £20 profit items, 20 a day. Like to me, it doesn't sound like a crazy amount to do. And I'm like, that gives you like a doctor's salary. Like it's obscene, isn't it? I'm selling people's unwanted crap, and like you could potentially get to a point like that. It's just it's utter madness sometimes.
Yeah, you've not been to medical school, and you know what, the thing you were saying about 2020, if you was to go 21, like the difference even that one extra step makes over the course of a year is just mental. So if you can increase it just by like 50p or a pound, like over so many items, it just compounds, and it's a crazy number.
Yeah. So we've gone through, just looking at it now. So we've been through like selling goals, kind of like ASPs tie into that as well. Tracking our numbers, something that I personally really want to work on. Work-life balance, our daily routines, how they're probably gonna change us slightly as well, reducing it down, and where we're gonna want to be working on different things. Sourcing and storage space is something that I wanted to quickly go over as well. So do you think you're going to be tackling it different to how you've been 2024? Do you think it's going to be slightly different?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? I think I'm going to start saying no more, which is going to be a real change for me. So where sometimes I'll give you a car boot for instance. Sometimes at the car boot, I will look at things and sometimes say, oh, it doesn't quite hit the mark, but it's been a bit quiet today, so let me grab it. So I kind of make a reason to get the other stuff, where from now on moving forward, like at the car boot sale when I'm sourcing online, if, for instance, I set myself a weekly target of, say, let's just make it easy. Say I set myself a weekly target of 100 for online sourcing, for instance, yeah. If on Monday I only source 8 items and I should be sourcing, say, 13, 14 items, I'm not going to now source the others for the sake of it, just to be in like, well done, you've hit your target. I'd rather say you've got a weekly target of 100. So do you know what? Monday was a bit quiet, but Tuesday I might source 20. Wednesday I might source 30. And then Thursday I might say, okay, I've only got 5 today, but that's okay because the start of the week was a bit better. So I think for changing it from a daily goal of sourcing to a weekly goal of sourcing is going to really help me, because then I'm going to be able to say no a lot more when it comes to turning down stuff that doesn't fit my model. And don't get me wrong, I will see stuff that I know will sell and I will make a profit. But if it doesn't make the profit I'm looking for now, it's not for me. And I'm going to start using that term a lot more. It's great, but it's not for me. So yeah, I'm super excited to be able to set like a weekly sourcing goal.
Yeah, I really like that, because I've been probably super harsh on myself in terms of like, if I need, say, 10 to 15 items, say if I wanted to source 10 to 15 items a day and I don't, I'm like, oh man, I've got to stay up and do it. Whereas when you look at it over the course of a week, especially like your weekends, I mean, I don't know about you, but my weekends, they're very unstructured. Say Monday to Friday is extremely structured. Everything's pretty much exactly the same. But Sunday you can have family parties, you can be like going out, like playing golf or doing whatever you do. And it's a little bit everywhere. So I don't have set times where I'm going to be sourcing. So I like the idea, and I really like the idea of what you're saying there about, this is what you need to source over the course of a week. If you don't get X amount on Saturday and Sunday, or you're not going to get that much, maybe push it slightly higher during the week as well. Or if you get a lot less on, say, like a Saturday. Push it more on a Sunday when you got a bit more free time during the footy. Like, you know, it's looking at it like a week's worth, or sometimes I say a month's maybe a little bit too long, but yeah, even over the course of a month, just tweaking it slightly.
Yeah, and I think little things like that really do help, because then you do take the pressure off you a little bit, because I've been there where you need to get X amount and you don't. You just end up doing it later and later, and you make more mistakes because you just want to hit the goal. So I think weekly really works. And also, I don't know if you find when you're sourcing, sometimes you'll get in a flow and you just see things after things after things. I very much would be happy then on a Monday to get 25 items, knowing the rest of the week's going to be easier. So that's what I'm going to do.
What about as well? I mean, are you going to have, say, like a charity shop route on top of doing car boots, on top of doing online, or do you think you're just going to double down on the ones that you really like?
Honestly, I think right now I need to be open to everything still, but I've found a really good way to do things at the moment, and it's only been a few days, so I'm not going to hang my hat on it and say it's perfect. But this weekend, I've gained so much motivation. I'm doing the right thing. I can't even explain to you. I mean, I have explained to you, but I can't put it into words how much this weekend's really helped me actually believe in it more, which is just crazy. So I am going to still do charity shops. I'm not going to do the Simon charity shop route. It's just not for me. But I can't remember the last time I went down to my charity shop down the road, probably November time. So I think I'm going to start visiting there twice a week, maybe. And I'll just use it when I go and drop off the parcels, use that as the reason to go in there and just make a reason. But yeah, I think car boot sales, I'm still definitely going to go to. And I think for me now, having this new method at the car boot sales will make my content even more enjoyable, because I'm still going to pick up I'm going to go back to picking up other small items that I have stopped picking up recently that I know sell really fast. And you guys are going to see it to show on YouTube, but I'm going to start picking up cameras again, because they're really easy for me to list. I've got all the testing equipment still here to list cameras, and the sell-through on cameras, some of the cameras is crazy. So I'm still going to pick up that, because that will still fit in my system. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of everything, but yeah, charity shop for me, fair play to Simon. I don't think I could do what he does.
Yeah, you probably would if you knew what he picked up today.
I just saw, as I was saying,
Jesus.
I can't do what he does, and I've just seen it.
Absolute madness. Picked up a CB company jumper from the charity shops. They paid £3. Yeah, so if they were out there in an abundance, which they probably are, but yeah, I think that's one thing as well I wanted to go over. Yeah, I mean, because I was so locked off and so close to the one source that I had, that I would just go there once a week or once every week and a half, 2 weeks, and then that'd be me done for like a week. I think it just made me lazy. It was just so easy to do. But now I completely want to go the opposite direction. So I want to be doing online. I want to be going to car boots as soon as they open. I want a charity shop route, although that's probably going to be a lot less frequently than the other ones. But yeah, completely open there. And just when I go to car boots, exactly how I played it for the last couple of years, just completely open mind and just speaking to as many people as I possibly can in order to develop relationships. Some of them might not come off in the long term, but put yourself out there and you never know. But yeah, mate, I think that's that for today, because I'm gonna pop off to the gym. But it was different in the sense that it wasn't so much like speaking about one specific subject, because I just wanted to go over last year. I wanted to speak about it. I wanted to speak about our plans going forwards and just involve everyone else, because we have these chats pretty much daily. But to put it out on here and just give everyone an idea of what we're thinking about at the minute, I thought it'd be pretty useful, and I hope it was for you guys. I've
got one more thing to add as well. A game changer for 2024. And I always said I would never own a pair. Croc life is the life. If you are working down your garden shed, Croc life is the life. So if you don't own Crocs, get yourself a pair. Do yourself a favor. Oh, and also the air fryer. Get yourself an air fryer as well, and make 2024 a great year.
I see stuff about air fryers constantly. And the thing with Crocs as well, Simon just said finally, I feel like, because I just got an indoor treadmill, which I go on for probably 45 minutes a day. I set it up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just doing it with my feet is just not the one. So I was like, Crocs a little bit breathable, lightweight, and they look pretty soft. So I thought, you know what, they might be the one for that.
I was always, I will never wear Crocs, and Mrs. got them for me, and I was like, I'll never wear these out, and then find myself like going ever in them, like down the co-op now, like Crocs and socks. It's the way.
That's like me and my sliders. Like when I go to the when I go drop off the parcels, I get so many looks. I'm like, because I'm down the road, I just slip them on. I go there, and they must think, "What the hell?" It's like it's snowing outside, and you're in sliders. What are you doing? But like, I can't not do it. I'll do it whatever weather.
Will you get a pair of Crocs before you sort out an outro for this live?
Mate, I'll probably get a pair of Crocs before that.
Let's do it. All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys in the chat as well. Thanks so much. And we'll love you all. See you next time.
Cheers, guys. See you next week. Bye.